What a mess. And no, I'm not just talking about my hair either. Good Lord, that is quite the mess. But the only thing more of a mess than my hair is the WNBA right now. I've just never in my life thought I could ever see anything that could just mess itself up the way the WNBA has. You talk about not being able to get out of your own way. With the golden goose they have in Caitlin Clark, all they have to do is not actively try every single second to screw it up in order to not screw it up. But trying to screw it up every single second, trying to self-sabotage themselves because they don't like the way she does it, is all they've done. It's all the league's done. It's all the players have done. I don't even know where to start. These last few days have been crazy. The most recent news that just dropped, this whole investigation in the opening game of the season held in Indiana when the Indiana Fever beat the brakes off the Chicago Sky. When Caitlin Clark, settled the whole Caitlin Clark Angel Reese debate, which had already been settled, but she added a little bit of an exclamation. I can't even say it. She beat her so bad you can't even say it. Added an exclamation point to that one. Then there's this. Of course, it couldn't be Angel just got beaten. Angel's just not as good as Caitlin. No, they had to launch an entire investigation because supposedly Angel Reese had all sorts of hate speech directed at her. There's never any specifics. There's never anything specifically that they were investigating. It's just that there were rumors out there that supposedly there was racist conduct held by fans in the arena. And they finally came out with a statement, not posted on any official website, just on their communications Twitter feed, that they were not able to substantiate any of the claims. That's not enough. When you go out of your way to launch an investigation to make people look this bad, you have to come out and apologize. Say, we followed some leads that we should not have followed. We made a lot out of something that there's no need to make a lot out of. I mean, yeah, we're committed to a hate-free environment, but we quite honestly messed up a lot here. And we owe an apology to all Indiana Fever fans, all fans of Caitlin Clark, and all the new fans that we've had. That's the kind of stuff that really hurts the league. That's the stuff that drives people away. Nobody wants to go to a game and try to enjoy themselves and jeer and heckle the other team politely, as politely as you can, without using any type of hate speech and have to worry about it turning around and being considered hate speech. This league, they need to stop worrying about skin color and start worrying about the thickness of their skin, because their skin is paper thin. They can't take criticism. Every little thing is looked at as a microaggression. They're stuck in the year 2020, which I'll get to in a second here. I mean, it's no wonder this league's not turned a profit in almost 3 decades and lost on average of $10 million plus a year. And we see exactly why. But again, that's what happens. They've never had to turn one. The NBA's always been there with a check to cover their losses, and they still go about making themselves as unlikable as possible, because they don't have to be likable. They don't have to try to sell themselves to anybody. If you're Asia Wilson, you can just be yourself, which is a unlikable person. And there's no consequences to that. And now because somebody who's actually likable shows up and gets all these endorsement deals, well, what about me? How come it's just because of race I'm not getting it? Well, now she's getting all these $1 million deals that she does not deserve, that she's not going to sell anything because nobody likes her. And she doesn't move the needle, and they say, well, she's the face of the league. No, she's not the face of the league. She might be the face of the old league that did not do well, but it's just this sort of stuff's not fun. I'm trying to have fun. I'm trying to watch Caitlin Clark, and I'm trying to watch the Indiana Fever because I've fallen in love with them as a result of her, and there's nothing to cling on to there as far as being fun or being anything. It's just ridiculous and pathetic. Caitlin, of course, is going to be out for 2 weeks, and the one thing I wondered my initial video about that, these games that have been moved to larger arenas, yes, the ticket rates are dropping like crazy. They have a game against the Washington Mystics that's going to be played in Baltimore in a 14,000, 15,000 seat arena, something like that. I thought it was going to be the regular 20,000 DC arena, but I guess they want to branch out and move into the Baltimore market, which is funny because that's where Angel Reese is from. I don't know if they're going to go there for her games are not, but judging by her homecoming at LSU and the fact that nobody showed up, whereas Caitlin Clark sold hers out in Iowa in a preseason exhibition game, I wouldn't count on that. She's not the draw people think she is, and good Lord, is she bad at basketball. Whew. Damn. But yeah, Caitlin's out, and now a game there. The tickets are dropping like crazy, and their big match against the Sky in the United Center, the big United Center. They were going to put about 21,000 there. Those tickets are dropping like crazy. A lot of money to be lost off of just one person having missed 2 weeks that we know of. Even if she only misses 2 weeks, and there's only 2 road games that she has to miss, it's going to hurt them a lot. And even the Indiana's games, the tickets are dropping quite a bit. So maybe there'll be a little bit more appreciation for her. But then again, maybe they'll realize, oh, heck, as long as she's here for us to compare ourselves to, we're not going to look very good in these comparisons. So, they're just going to continue to rely on the NBA's payouts. They're going to ask for money that they've not earned. They're trying to ride this wave to get more money, but they've not earned it. And they're not going to make money. They've never made money. They're not going to make money except for Caitlin Clark. And, if she's out for an extended period of time, they're going to realize that. And they need to be, trying to get this as quick as possible, get her back. And you'd think they would have her back and try to help her, reach these levels. But no, they're just they want the money, but they don't want to have to actually present themselves as likable. And like I said, that's socialism. That's what socialism's done to this league. It's just absolutely, made them where they have no reason to be likable, no reason to sell themselves as being likable, no reason to act likable. And you see it. And like I said, this is why socialism does not work. Yes, capitalism has quite a bit of its own flaws, but this is just, like I said, just more L's for the WNBA to handle. And of course, what I really don't want to talk about, but they were under fire too, because in Minnesota, a few days before, I guess it was May 25th, the 5-year anniversary of St. George Floyd's death, St. George Floyd of fentanyl, when he died of a fentanyl overdose in Minneapolis, Minnesota, while a cop was kneeling on his back, leading to a big summer of protest and burning stuff down and getting nothing accomplished, by the way. Dephisia Collier, one of the 2 or 3 best players in the league, along with Caitlin Clark and Asia, gives a speech saying, we want to... First of all, the team had a moment of silence for him, which is ridiculous, especially on Memorial Day weekend, instead of honoring the real heroes who died serving our country, so we can have these freedoms to worship idols that are criminals, that are armed robbers, that have held guns to pregnant women's stomachs. They held a moment of silence for George Floyd, and then Dephisia Collier gave a big, thank you to the crowd, thank you to George Floyd. His death is a reminder we still have to do better with criminal justice in America, and blah, 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 blah. A career criminal, a career felon, somebody who beat up a woman and held a gun to a pregnant woman's stomach, was part of 5 guys beating up these women. That's who they're honored. Of course, this is the same people, this is the same league who, when Jacob Blake had his deal happen in 2020, got paralyzed, because he molested a child, and then went back to her house the next day, causing the cops to get called out there. He fought off the cops, went for a knife, and got shot in the back. And now, if he wants to go into somebody's house and molest more children, it's going to have a wheelchair ramp. And they were out there holding, wearing shirts with his name on it, spelling his name out. And, I thought this was supposed to be for women and pro women. It's pathetic. It's very, very pathetic. And and of course, it looks like the Chicago players are still ducking out when the national anthem happens, because God forbid they show any type of gratitude to this country that's given them a pretty decent salary for a league that draws nothing. All right, if I'm working for a company and they don't make money, I get fired or released or let go or whatever you call it when the company goes bankrupt, and I don't make any money. I have to go find a place that actually makes money to work there to earn a paycheck. So I don't know how they think they're gonna appeal to us. Like I said, they got Caitlin Clark, the Golden Goose, sports most magnetic personality, most magnetic athlete at the moment. They can't even handle that. So it's pitiful. I'm feeling stupid for even caring about this league. Obviously I care a lot about Caitlin Clark, and I've started to care about her teammates a lot. And I should have known it's all tied to the WNBA, and I should have just said no. I feel like I should have just let go of her then, but I mean, it just makes you wonder. It makes you wonder how much longer we're going to deal with it. I'm committed to watching her, especially when she comes back, and watch her teammates while she's gone. But sometimes I wonder. I mean, at some point it gets to a point where you go to find a way to tune in and watch it, and you're like, I got other stuff to do. Happens once, then twice, then a couple times. Next thing you know, you've quit caring about it. It's how I am with NASCAR. I used to watch everything. And it's like, this isn't fun. They didn't even do all the stuff the WNBA's doing. They just made a bunch of stupid rules and stupid changes to their championship system. And it's like, nah, I don't have to watch this race. And I can miss this race. And next thing you know, it's like I am now. I haven't watched a NASCAR race in years. So I used to be basically obsessed with it. And the WNBA is going to learn some hard lessons here. And I don't know how they can't see it. I don't know where their advisors are to help them. I don't know where the NBA and Adam Silver is in all of this. I mean, I knew Adam Silver was incompetent as hell, but I didn't think he was this incompetent. But just pitiful. So let me know what you guys think. How's the WNBA going to come back from this? Is the NBA ever going to step in? And how many more L's and just horrible publicity can the WNBA take before we finally say enough's enough? So thank you guys for tuning in, and I'll talk to you later.